This is video number 56 for cello students. And in this video, we're going to learn how to play number 82, learn about what those little plus signs mean above the note. And we're actually also going to learn how to shift. Now, your book doesn't actually teach you shifting right now. I choose to do it here because the basses are learning something new, the violins and violas are learning something new, and I like to teach shifting to the cello students pretty early on. It's a very, very handy tool to have, and it's very good for you to learn early on. So we're going to be adding shifting in your book quite a few times. So you're going to need a pencil, maybe not for this particular video, but you will need a pencil in a lot of the future videos. So just make a habit of having a pencil with you. Now, if you look at number 82 in your book, you see that there are little plus signs with the number 4 right above the first note. There's a 4 and a plus. Now notice it just has a plus sign there. Whether the note has the 4 and the plus or just the plus sign, either way, it means that you are going to pluck with your left hand, okay? Now, if you notice, these are open. This is open A and open D. Those are only two notes we can do that with. We can do our open strings with plucking with your left hand, because normally your left hand's putting fingers down, right? What is the purpose of that? Well, in this book right now, it's just, honestly, it's there mainly for the violins and violas because they have not used their 4th finger yet, okay? However, we're not going to skip it. Your 4th finger should be pretty strong, but it's going to need to be stronger when we do shifting. So it's a good thing for us to do as well, even though it's really there so that the violin violas can start using their 4th finger for the very first time. Your 4th finger should be pretty strong by now, but we're going to find out. Hopefully, this won't hurt you too bad. So, open up to number 82 in your book, and I want you to look at how it says 4 plus and then plus. But then look, it doesn't measure 2, but then in measure 3 it says etc. We're going to keep plucking the whole way. You don't need your bow, you don't need your right hand. In fact, put your right hand somewhere where you're not going to use it, okay? Now, how do we pluck with our left hand? Let me show you up close first. What you're going to do, you're going to pluck, if you're going to pluck your A string, you're going to put your finger in between your D and your A and then pull towards your hand. And then when you pluck your D string, put it between your D and your G and pull. Okay, you would do the same thing on the other strings, but we're just going to be dealing with D and A today. So if it says A, it has the 4 and plus above it, and then D, pluck with your 4th finger, all right? It probably is going to hurt just a little bit. Let's see how strong your pinkies have gotten. All right, so 82, I'm going to use the metronome. I have 8 notes clicking because that's going to help us not go too fast, all right? And I have it set at 66. So you're plucking either A or D. Tell you what, don't look at your music just yet. Just pluck A 4 times with the metronome. Echo me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. Quarter note A. 2, 3, 4. Now do 4 Ds. Quarter note Ds. Go. D, D. Now 2 A's, 2 Ds. D. If you're not getting that, pause the video and just practice plucking D and A back and forth, and then join us again. Let's play 82 now. 1, 2, okay, sorry. Put your right hand somewhere where you're not going to use it. Sit on it, put it on your head, stick in your ear, whatever you want to do, okay? But somewhere where you're not tempted to use it, because you're going to end up doing this. That's only way you've ever plucked before. We're not doing that. Get rid of your right hand. Have your left hand here, okay? 82. And ready, and go. A, rest, rest. Now D. Are you using your left hand? I hope so. 2 A's again. Rest, rest. Now D. Now 3 A's. Go. Rest and D. Now 4 A's. And 4 D's. Okay? Hopefully your pinky doesn't hurt too bad. Now, if it does, you want to keep working, keep doing 82 every day to help strengthen that pinky. And then just kind of keep it tucked in the back of your brain somewhere that the 4 with the plus or just the plus means you're going to pluck with your left hand, okay? It might show up in music. Occasionally it does. Usually I, as a teacher, have like one song a year out of one of my orchestras that has that in their music. Doesn't show up a lot, but when it does, you want to remember what that means, okay? Now, let's talk about shifting. Now, you should have another tape up here that we haven't used. If I put your tapes on your instrument, it's probably a different color. You probably also have a star over here on your A string. We're not going to go that far yet, but we are going to learn how to play outside of first position. First position is where you have been for the entire year, okay? Now, your hand can be in different places and still play the same note. For example, I'm playing G right here with my 4th finger like I've always played G. I want you to notice that I can play G with my 1st finger and it sounds the same. I can play G with my 2nd finger and it sounds the same. I can play it with my 3rd finger. Okay? So why would we ever want to do this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, we're going to be learning Ode to Joy soon. I'm going to stand to play this. I would not recommend that you stand to play. In fact, I might mess up a little bit because my cello might slide around. The main reason cellos will need to be learning to shift is someday you're going to be playing up really high. Okay, you're going to be playing notes way up here. Now, for now, it's nice to be able to play a note a different way for tone purposes. And what I mean by tone is getting a better quality of sound. The tone is the quality of sound. For getting a better tone, I'm going to play Ode to Joy without shifting, and I want you to notice how the open A's stick out, and they just don't sound good. Listen to this. Okay, listen again. Okay, when I teach you Ode to Joy, I'm going to teach you to play it with the A being played on the D string. And we'll learn how to do it later, but just listen to the difference from the nasty A and see, it doesn't stick out anymore, okay? So there are many reasons to learn how to play notes in a different way. So we are going to play, it's kind of, there's a reason the book doesn't teach you to shift yet, because the first position I'm going to teach you is kind of a strange position, okay? We've had first position. The next most common one is 3rd position. And 3rd position is when you put your 1st finger where G is, okay? The next note up would be A. Now this A right here, this extra tape that you have, this A is the same as open A. We're just playing it a different way. The pitch is the same, but the tone is different. This is a more mellow sound, kind of a bright, I hate to say whiny sound, but yeah, kind of, okay? Now, again, I can play this A many different ways. This is how I would play the A in 3rd position on the D string. That is the next most common position. What I'm actually going to teach you is a different position. It's called, get this, 2nd and a half, okay? Now, if you're taking private lessons with a cello teacher, it would not be uncommon for your cello teacher to just call this 2nd position. There is 2nd position when your 1st finger goes here as well. I like to distinguish 2nd position from 2nd and a half because it's easier for me as an orchestra director to, from in front of a whole class, say, okay, go to 2nd and a half position, and I know everyone's going to go to here and not here, okay? So don't be confused by that. Your cello teachers have probably heard 2nd and a half as well. Some of them will call it 2nd and a half, some of them just call this 2nd. However, there is one that I will distinguish from 2nd position. We'll get to that later on. I just wanted to mention that to you for those of you that are taking lessons, okay? So If I have my first finger on the F sharp, my second finger, what note is playing right here? This is where G lives, regardless of if I'm playing it here, or here, or here. It's all a G. So F sharp with first finger, second finger plays the note G, third finger plays a note we don't know yet, and fourth finger is the new way to play A. Okay? Again, I'm going to call this second and a half position. Now notice my thumb is still behind my second finger. It should be. Your hand position does not change. The only thing slightly different is your fingers are a little closer together. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to play 2 F sharps, 2 Gs, and 2 As. Echo me. In second and a half positions. Put your first finger down for F sharp, second finger down for G, and fourth finger for A. Try that. Echo me. And go. 2 F sharps, F sharp, G, G, A, A. Now go backwards. A, G, F sharp. These are old notes you've already learned. It's a new way to play them. Echo me. And go. A, G, G, F sharp, F sharp. Okay? Now, before we do your next video, what I would like for you to practice is with a tuner, those 3 notes in your new position. They're old notes played a new way. All right? That will help you be ready for your next video.